One of the questions we get a lot this time of year is, should I exhibit at Bett? So I thought I'd put a few pointers down on a quick video, which might help you make that decision more effectively, essentially. So one of the key things is my audience going to be there? And that sounds really obvious. I've got an education product, it's an education event or an edtech product. It's the right place. Not necessarily. If you're targeting parents, is probably not the right place. Also, if you're targeting, say, science teachers, secondary science teachers, you need to perhaps interrogate the Bett team about how many secondary science teachers came last time the event was, which was a couple of years ago now. Though that's a bit of groundwork you need to do in terms of figuring out whether it's worth the return on investment. The second thing you need to do is really hone down on your objective. It might be we have people that go to Bett that it's around meeting potential business partners, as in other organisations. It might be difficult to show their product in other environments or remotely. And so Bett's a good situation where they can set their product up and then arrange prior to the event lots of meetings with potential partners, investment partners, acquisition partners, those kind of things. So that's a very different objective to a sales objective. So you need to think about, can I achieve that objective and how will I do it before I go? The next thing which is related to that, is how much work am I prepared to do to make this work, or my business is prepared to do to make this work. So it's not a case that you can turn up to exhibition and expect everything else to happen. The organisers to make sure that people hit your stand, that doesn't happen at all. What they are doing is making sure that audience is in that auditorium, essentially, or in that exhibition hall. What you then need to do is make sure that audience comes to your stand. So that might be a lot of pre-show work, doing perhaps some PR, perhaps doing your organic posting on your social sites and blogs, but also some paid advertising on those sites as well, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, what have you, and to make sure people know what's going on your stand and why they need to be there. The other thing that you need to do is think about your follow-up after the show. So it's not a case of all your planning to the show is up until the day of the show. It needs to carry on beyond that. So you need to have a plan of, how are we following these people up? Is there anything else we can do to move them down the sales funnel if sales are your objectives? So it might be prior to the show you think of doing, I don't know, like a 30-minute webinar a week or two after the show, so that when you're on the stand you can already start warming people up to the fact that you've got a Q&A webinar session 2 weeks later. And then you can essentially, when you contact them after the show, you can make sure that they're going to come, those kind of things. And it just means it makes the ability to meet your objective and the opportunity to get a return on your investment far greater than otherwise. So I hope those have helped those of you that are considering still exhibiting at Bett. If you want any more advice, just give us a shout at the Influence Crowd.